Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 28 of Play or Pass, or Pass or Play, whoever, depends on who's saying it. so, thanks for everyone joining us. Thanks for y'all hanging out. We've got Alban here, Shrinking Sharon, Blue, Andrew, and myself. So I'll start with ladies first. Sharon being the guest. Sharon, how are you doing today?
Hello, how's everyone doing? Hello, everyone in the chat.
I'm doing well.
How's everybody doing?
Blue, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Welcome.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, good to see. Nice and quiet. Andrew, how are you doing, bud? Doing all right?
I'm good. I've just finished putting my Christmas decorations up.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
What?
We're in lockdown too.
Okay, that's true.
So wait, you're in lockdown, or you still got to go to work?
I've still got to go to work.
Yeah. I was gonna say, wait, I didn't catch lockdown 1. I was still going.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Alban? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm really happy this week. We've had great weather here in New York. It's freaking 70 degrees
Yeah.
Here
in
too.
November.
Here too.
I'm so happy.
In Canadian, we had 20 degrees. So I'm not sure what that is in
Oh
American.
god.
That's in the 70s. That's in the 70s.
Oh,
so yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It's 20
I think-
Celsius is in the 70s. Like mid 70s.
I wouldn't trust the dabs. Don't forget, you still really got to get that right.
I'm working on it.
that's
I
the
actually
thing.
paying attention. I'm paying
See,
attention to the.
I think she's trying to fool you to really get you there sooner. But congrats on the big news there for you two.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Finally have a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't believe it.
Congratulations.
You can actually make it here.
Well, here's hoping. Here's hoping they don't cancel
Yeah.
my flight. That'd be just
Well, I told you I'd send a plane.
okay.
You know, you
I-
got plenty.
I'll
He's
send a
got
plane.
plenty of them flying over his.
Yeah, plenty of them right in the backyard. They're sitting right there.
Yeah. Garth says he's got himself 3 feet of snow.
Oh,
Is he Western Canada? They usually get hit with snow early. Like, Alberta and Saskatchewan, prairies.
So
Unless- Or where else in the world would have snow right now?
that'd be it. Unless you're in North Pole, maybe Alaska.
Yeah.
So we got let's see, Red. Thanks for joining. Octavius, thanks for joining us. Roger's in the chat over there, so good. We'll have him in the show a little bit later. Maybe Octavia will be
hopefully.
around to jump in the chat.
Eddie
Let's
G.
see. The Beach, thanks for joining us, bud. Eddie G. Eddie will be on, I'm sure, a little bit later. Jim, thanks for joining us. B. Davey, thanks for joining us. Well, can California really say anything about the weather? Because it's pretty much the same weather. I mean, they do get hotter in the summer, but
Yeah, they get like what,
Yeah,
110
real hot.
degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah, 110
Florida's about
degrees.
the same.
And the fire on top of it. So,
Okay.
that's what you get for living in California. All right, so we got that going on. So we got 2 movies today. We got The Hate You Give and 20 Feet from Stardom. I'm not sure which one of you guys would like to be first. And this was
ladies first.
okay. Shrinking Sharon, Shrinking Miss Sharon. Since you picked the movie, you're able to be first or last. So
Far as reviewing the movie first?
yes, yeah.
Okay, I'll review it last.
Okay. And we'll go ahead for anybody that's not watched the show before. This is the panel is going to be who we have on it. We'll go through the movies. We'll talk about the movies. And we'll actually go through both movies. And then at the end of both movies, I'll post the link. And if you would like to join the chat, you can. Feel free to post your thoughts as we're reviewing the movie. We'd love to see your thoughts. And I will post them up here on the screen if I notice them. And but yeah, we'll invite everybody at the end of the show where you can talk about either one of these 2 movies that we watched this week. So we've got The Hate You Give. So let me share my screen on that one. 2018. Let's see. Does anybody want to raise their hand to be first? Or, I mean, if you don't, I'll go first. It doesn't really matter to me.
I'll go.
All right, Alban. I see.
Don't matter to me.
Oh, you
Yeah.
could have picked. Maybe you couldn't see me waving like a maniac because you got a banner over my face.
Oh, thank you,
Oh.
go, Boo. Ladies
no.
first.
You go
Yeah,
ahead.
I did. Yeah, I had B. Davies.
Go ahead, Alban.
The banner on the bottom there, Miss.
Oh, yep.
No.
All right, so go ahead. I'll
Better not be over my face, or I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, I know. She's a little. I told her it's gonna be a little testy today.
I didn't
Yeah,
sleep
I'm
at all
telling
last night.
All right. Hate You Give. I like this movie because I was always a Tupac fan, and I saw this movie, when it came out, and I rewatched it, of course. Trying to see my notes here. Oh wow! Where to start? I'm trying to think. I like the movie. It really sends out a message. I don't even know where to start. I have my notes here and I'm trying to read them. I'm getting so old I can't even read my notes anymore. Oh man.
Alban, did you want me to go first and you can collect your thoughts?
Go first, because until I can read my notes here, I don't even have no light on here. Okay. Go ahead. Go first, so I can figure myself out here.
I like the movie. I felt completely uncomfortable for the whole movie, which I think was the whole point of it. The cute thing about it is the girl. Right away, I'm like, she looks so familiar. She played Rue from Hunger Games, and then you got her boyfriend was the kid from the hell's that called? Jughead and Archie, Riverdale.
Oh, Riverdale.
But oh my God, Rue's grown up. She's so pretty. Yeah, I was completely uncomfortable the entire time because it was just holy shit balls. I think if anybody has an issue with Black Lives Matter, they should definitely watch this movie because holy Christ, it gives you a good perspective. It gives you her perspective. And even though she's like, she lives in a Black community, she goes to school in like a white community, and just all the bullshit that goes on, like these kids having this Black Lives Matters thing, but the only reason they wanted to do it basically was because they got out of a class and got out of doing a test, which was just fucking ridiculous and made me angry. And everything about it made me angry. The dad in the very beginning there, when they were little, and he's teaching them the rules, and he teaches them how to put their hands on the dash if they get pulled over in their car, and watching that whole part where her boyfriend, her friend gets killed. It was like you could see it happening as it's happening, and it's like, because I guess he wasn't, because his mom wasn't around and whatever, I guess he didn't get the same teaching she did. The thing that's the pisser about the whole thing is no kids should have to learn that. It's such fucking bullshit. And even Common, when he's talking about when he's from a police officer perspective, and he's saying how, if the kid reaches and you think it's a gun, yeah, you're going to pull your gun and you're going to shoot him. I'm going to take him down. And she's like, and if it's a white man, tell him to put his hands up. Now, I have no idea where the logic is in that. And maybe it's because I don't see it every day, which I kind of wish maybe more people did see it every day, so they'd have a new perspective on it. Because it pisses me off that Black people are treated different than white people. Because you know what? Around here, we got a lot of white crackheads. We don't have a lot of Black people here. But I can tell you right now, I'm more scared of white people than I am of Black people. Because these guys, the two dudes walking around screaming at the world and whatever. So I can't wrap my brain around the whole concept. It pisses me off that it's happening still to this day, which is fucking ridiculous. So I liked it. I was really bothered by it, in not in a good way, but kind of in a good way, because it also opened my eyes to a lot of things, because seeing it from that perspective. So that's me. And plus, I thought the girl in it was fantastic. She's a great little actress. So that's me.
You got your thoughts together there, Auburn.
Yeah, I got my thoughts together.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but you know what
All
it is? I didn't show my shirt.
You didn't show your shirt.
And-
I know.
and that's
I
been
mean,
throwing me off.
uh-huh.
World's greatest vibrator.
Harley Davidson.
Harley, baby. Yeah, you can flip up on me now.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, I'm feeling a little self-conscious.
Yeah.
Getting all these phone numbers, sending me texts.
Yeah. Well, as you're talking about, like, about with Common being the cop,
Mhm.
I don't understand what he was thinking when he went to the funeral there for the kid there, the wake there, wearing his uniform into that house.
Mhm.
That's true too. Like, I mean, he should have gone, but maybe not wearing that for sure.
Yeah, he should have gone, but not wearing that. That was adding fuel to the fire. It is a complicated world, because I know I've lived it. I've lived it all my life.
Have you been black all your whole life? You've been black your whole life?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, and the funny thing is, Auburn means white ruler. Okay, so picture that. Okay. It's like when you see something like this, and people just don't understand. Like, okay, you get pulled over. Don't lean in the car. Don't take up that type of attitude, because you will get shot. You will. People don't care. And so you should think that, okay, I'm going to stick my head back in the car. Something's going to happen to you. Because I felt the same way when I saw the movie the first time.
See, I've been pulled over a shitload of times in my lifetime. I've never been asked to step out of my car, ever. Forever.
Well, every time here, that's why I ride a motorcycle now.
Wow.
Okay, so they can, have fun. It's a lot of people. You have to, when they say you have to, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. That's how I feel a lot for this, because people just don't understand. They truly don't understand, and maybe they'll wake up one day.
Well, I can tell you, from my point of view, makes
Mhm.
me so angry that you guys even have to fucking worry about this. Like,
but we do.
But you know what? I don't get the extreme that you guys get, but as a woman, I can
Mhm.
understand the not walking at night. There's a lot of restrictions just
Right.
being a woman,
Mhm.
and even
But
a black
there
woman.
shouldn't be anything if I just walk into a store and I have to get followed around. Why?
Yeah, bullshit.
It's bullshit. So you can't change it, and then now I feel that we're living in a time now where we everything is getting reversed, because now we're bad. I lived my whole life to be able to not be called a colored person, and then now we're coming right back to that again.
Yeah, because Trump has emboldened people, and not just in the U.S., everywhere. Here in Canada, all the racists feel like they have free reign. Well, they can go fuck
Right,
themselves.
but I don't even know if I could blame it all on Trump for the calling me colored, because it's everything that became so political correct.
But the thing is, though, Aubin, is that at least some people were too scared to actually call you names, whereas now they're not quite so scared anymore. Which is, I mean, yeah, sure, they thought it, but keep that shit to yourself. But now,
it's far worse now.
Yeah,
Far worse now than when I was a kid, if you ask me, because I feel that it's getting bad. It's getting worse now.
Yeah,
it really is. Okay, that's all for me.
well, I'll tell you right now, if I was walking down the street with you and somebody said something derogatory to you, I'd punch him right in the fucking throat. Right in the fucking throat.
Thank you. But your punch to the throat is like up to maybe my stomach.
Have to jump.
I'm
Not you.
sorry,
I'm not going to
bro.
punch you in the throat.
I know, but I'm just saying that.
Hey, I can
That's
jump
how
really
I-
high. It comes from years of practice of being a short person.
White girls can jump, you know.
Damn right, baby. Damn
To
right.
get to a new movie, you know. Oh
All right.
boy.
Andrew, do you want to go or do you want me to
Thanks,
go?
Ludo.
I'll go.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Sharon, this is probably one of your best pick. Not that the other ones have been bad, but this is my most favorite out of all the ones that you've picked because I really enjoyed this, even though it was like quite of a emotional one. It's really sad, to be honest with you. Like a lot of the stuff that this girl had to go through, and a lot of stuff that just goes on in general still these days. And I didn't even realize it was made in 2018. This, I thought it was like it seemed like it was like an early 2000s type of movie because of the topic, and it's not. It's still like irrelevant. Unfortunately, it's still like irrelevant to today. The saddest part. One second, someone's coming down.
Todd, can you unblock me again, honey?
I sent him a message.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I apologize. I thought when I put all the decorations up, my son got so excited to see all the Christmas lights that he got really hyperactive and he was still awake. I thought I heard it. All right. I thought he'd come running down the stairs there, but it's not. Yeah. So one of the saddest parts of this for me was like at the very beginning. When she says that the first time she had the talk, which the talk to a lot of other people is just like the birds and the bees type thing, and this was like our father giving her his own was it Bill of Rights? He said it was, and he had all these rules that
Black Panther rules.
Yeah, the Black Panther rules, and it just was sad to have for these young kids to have to even have to follow these rules and just to get on. And he was like, and he was going on about how he's probably going to get stopped by the police, and he might have not have done anything wrong, but he might have done something wrong. But if he ever does, which he's basically saying he's going to put your hands on the dash, stuff like that, and obey what they say and everything like that. It was just like it was sad to see these little kids getting told all these things they shouldn't really have to know about at that age. And
you know what, Andrew? Sorry, I'm going to interrupt for just 1 second. You know what this made me think of too is I remember one time. This is a U.S. issue again, of course. I remember hearing about a lady who went into her bathroom and she found her daughter standing on the toilet, and she said, "What are you doing?" That's what they're taught in school there for shooter drills, is to hide in the bathroom and stand on a toilet. And I thought, what kind of world do we live in where we have to teach our kids that, where we have to teach them to hide and all these life-saving tips? Like, it's so messed up. Like, so messed up.
You're supposed to go in the tub. You're supposed to lay down in the tub.
See,
okay?
She's talking about at school. She's talking about if you were like at school or something.
We
not a local shooting.
have fire drills here. We don't have shooter drills. We have fire drills here. And yeah, these poor kids on top of shooter drills now have to worry about being black. It's like, oh, sorry, Andrew, keep going.
No, you're right. It's they shouldn't have to worry about being black. And unfortunately, they do. One of the scenes that really got me in the feels and almost made us cry was the little boy at the end when he picks up the gun. He's like, "Don't hurt my daddy," and he's like, "Oh," and you're like, "Oh, like this lad's went through so much through this whole movie, saw so much go on, and then finally he's just like doing what he thought was natural and picked the gun up, and it was just sad to see this little kid. And I think that's when they all realized like something needs to change here, because like, this young boy is just like he's learning bad habits from what he's seeing, what's going on around him. That the scene where the friend gets shot. It was, I don't know. It kind of didn't. I feel I had an opinion, but I didn't. I felt like it might be a white person's opinion, if you know what I mean, because I thought he was a bit stupid to like he wasn't listening to the police officer, and I thought he was a bit stupid to reach into his car.
Because she kept telling him, She kept telling him, like, get back there,
No, I did think even like maybe if it was like a white person, maybe that still would something might happen. Maybe not get shot, but like obviously in the UK you'd probably get tasered or something. Even in America you would get tasered.
In Canada, tased.
And obviously but I think what the key thing they did with this scene is that the cop was a young cop who was inexperienced, which, by the way, and he was young and inexperienced, he shouldn't have been on his own anyway.
Yeah,
but he was. And there was an interesting part in the middle of the movie, just before she goes to court, and when she's sitting down with that uncle, and they're talking about and he was like trying to explain what happened,
why a cop would do that.
Why a cop would do it, and like he'd had like pretty feasible explanations for stuff, but then she said, what if it's like a white guy in a suit who's got a really nice car, and like, are you gonna, if he reaches into his seat, are you gonna shoot, or are you gonna what was the other thing she said? Give him a warning or something.
Yeah, get your hands
Tell him to put his hands up.
Yeah, tell him to put your hands up. And he said, I would probably tell him to put his hands up, which was basically what he was saying was that that's what they get told. Like the people, they have different perceptions of different types of people, and
that's why they need to change the police down there. They need to defund the police. Wrong way to say it. But you know what? Maybe put that money, instead of buying them fucking tanks and special vehicles, into sensitivity training, into being able to de-escalate stuff, all that kind of stuff. That's what they need training on. Not just come out, teach them how to shoot and shit. Teach them how to be able to talk people down, or be able to, you know what I mean? That's what they need to work on.
A question for you, Andrew. In there by you, since they don't carry guns and they're using a taser, are a lot of people getting tased?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't really witnessed a lot of people getting.
All right.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, people will get tased if they're not being.
Yeah, I've actually seen a guy get tased.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of people get tased. It's.
Well, I see people get shot. I think I'd rather get.
But that's what I'm wondering though, guys. Is why isn't that the first go-to for cops in the U.S.? Why not tase first, and shooting should be freaking last?
Because people are shooting at you.
Yeah, but I mean, right there where you think the kid has a gun and he's got his hand like this, tase him. He ain't gonna shoot you.
Well, also you gotta remember as well, the officer was working in that part of that city for all that for quite a while, and obviously it's known to be like a rough area, so it wouldn't probably be uncommon for them to.
No, but I mean, like there's been shootings in the U.S. like that. Obviously, I've seen way more of them ever since George Floyd, and it was like the one guy that fell asleep in the drive-through, and that whole scene, like, and they shot him. It was like he fell asleep in a drive-through. He's not robbing a bank. He's not raping a girl or killing somebody. He fell asleep in a fucking drive-through, and you shot him. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what the logic is of that. Like, sure, he's resisting arrest, whatever. Tase the fucker. But
shooting doesn't always work.
For
You just
Yeah,
there's
Todd.
people that
Todd, yeah, crack, like full on meth heads. Sure, that's a little different. But most people aren't on fucking meth. And you know what? You can try that
saying.
first, and then resort to maybe shooting after the fact. But come on now, you guys are too fucking gun happy in your country, man. Too gun happy. It's ridiculous. Like we don't. You guys have so many shootings every single day. We don't have that. The UK does not have that. Like there's a reason. It's because there's too many goddamn guns. And this whole good guy with a gun. Well, do you remember that when there was that shooting? And I forget what it was. It was a bar or something, and a good guy pulled out his gun to save people, and the cops shot him because they thought he was the shooter. So it's like it's time to find an alternative to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to find an alternative. You need to be more like us, is what I'm saying. In so many ways, in the UK.
I don't know why
Universal
you're
healthcare.
laughing, Dad, because you're going to be
Universal
there.
health care,
all
not
right.
as many guns.
Okay,
It's a
let
wonderful
Andrew
thing.
finish. We've got to let Andrew finish.
Sorry, Andrew.
No, that's all right. I was almost done anyway. I was just felt like that scene put you as the watcher in the way for me anyway. Put me in the position of the police officer and what I would do.
Yeah.
Because obviously our friend was like disobeying orders, but he's probably been harassed in the past for no reason at all. And to be honest, I don't think he had a legitimate reason to be pulled over anyway. But
See,
I was kind of thinking he was being funny, and then the police officer was obviously inexperienced, not experienced enough to de-escalate the situation. He went straight to just like shouting commands at him and saying, "I've give you like a command to get out the car" and stuff. So that just kind of like that didn't help the situation at all, because obviously he's obviously getting shit off the officer now, so he's just going to be like even more disobedient.
See, for me, it felt the opposite. It felt like he hadn't been pulled over before, so he was kind of like, yeah, well, it's no big deal. Whereas she was like, do this and do that and do that. And he was kind of like, it's fine, reaches in, grabs his brush. Like, it for me felt like this was like the first time, and that's why he wasn't taking it serious, is he never had it happen to him before, kind of thing.
I guess it's
Probably should have known better.
That's the thing is, shouldn't have known better. But at the same time,
remember?
It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have gotten to that stage. Like,
yeah, but yes, he is still a kid, and also he's probably not expecting to get shot.
No,
he's not expecting to.
Listen, if I get pulled over and I know that the other guy's got a gun, and he can have it out on me, I'm not playing that game.
Okay, and you know what, Alvin? From my point of view too, as a white woman, when I get pulled over, I'm nice as fucking pie to a cop. I mean, I'm not necessarily worried about being shot, but I'm not. When I hear people like, "Oh, and I told him he can go fuck himself," I'm like, "Are you fucking stupid? Like, what are you doing?"
I'm not going to argue. It's what's the sense? Let them get to learn about me first before I can say anything. I'm not going to let them, give them a reason to be on guard, because that's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You don't know what kind of crazy person you're going to be pulling over.
Yeah.
It's not safe either way. Here, because a person can turn their back on, a cop can turn their back on someone, and and they'll pull out a knife and stab them in the back. It happens.
Yeah.
Not like I'm defending a cop. Trust me, I'm not. But people are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are just normal guys doing a job and scared shitless.
Right.
Yeah, so I feel like this movie had a lot of life lessons in it, and one of the things that kept me watching was actually the girl who plays the main character. I just thought she was not. This wasn't the reason I was watching it all the way through, but I just thought she was.
Okay, now we know.
She was so pretty. There was just something about her. She was really like, I felt like I had seen her before. And then when you mentioned Hunger Games, the girl who plays the main character.
That was Rue, the little girl that died in it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Star in the movie.
I know she plays the 16-year-old in this, but I know she's 22, so
Oh,
yeah,
you
it's
checked.
safe.
So
It's
Andrew's
safe.
okay.
You checked.
it's okay to say that she's pretty and she had a beautiful smile.
She did, though.
And she's a really good actress as well. Also,
She was
so,
really, really good in this. Holy Jesus, yeah.
so
You
yeah, I
gonna
like
tell us to join your fan club too?
I've started it.
She has a YouTube page too.
But yeah, that's me done. It was good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and then it'll be Sharon's turn. The talk. And that's actually one of the things when when Charles and I have talked about different race things, and we've talked about my perception of things and his perception of things, and we come up with I'm able to learn and we can talk. And he said, well, did your parents ever have the talk with you? And we were talking about police, and it was something that happened with the police, and it was a shooting and all. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, did parents ever have a talk with you about what to do when they problem? I was like, kind of. They just said, give them your license and don't be acting a fool. And he goes, no, well, my parents told me you keep your hands on the steering wheel. You don't move your hands off the steering wheel. Anytime that the police officer asks for anything, you're, yes, sir. I'm going to reach for my wallet. I'm going to grab this, sir. He says you are deliberate about every single thing you do. He says, because I don't want to give them anything to make them uneasy or nervous or scared. And that's one of the things I noticed with this. And a police officer, and I think police officers get a lot of dogged out about a lot of stuff, and they're in a situation where they are called upon at the worst times, and they see the worst sides of a lot of people because they're pulled into that situation, and they have to see the worst of the worst. They get to see that.
See, most cops are alcoholics. They can't do drugs, right? So a lot of cops, even in my little town, are alcoholics because of the shit they see.
Right.
And it's not necessarily pulling over a black kid for whatever. They see domestic violence. They see all kinds of bullshit. Yeah, they're usually little cuckoo.
Right. And like I was saying, they see the worst of the worst, be it for all gambits of situations. They see the worst of people. They see what the worst of people can do. And so when they see that day in, day out, I can see where some would be a little bit uneasy. And if you're dealing with it in an area where you don't know if someone has a gun, I can see where a police officer might be a little bit on edge. And this kid, I'll say kid, he was in his 20s, but the police officer was definitely on edge. And the character Kali that got shot, you could tell he was nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
He's like, this is no big deal. Where Star was, this is what we do. And that father said, you do these steps so that you get through that stop. You get a ticket or whatever happens, you want to live through it because you don't want to scare some police officer where they might make a bad decision. Now, that police officer you saw when he saw that it was a brush, he's like, oh my God. And you could see that he was bothered that he just shot a kid and the kid didn't have a gun, but he was scared. And so it puts you in a situation where how I grew up was not the same way that other people grow up. And that was something that, again, when he said that, when he did the talk, I was like, me and Charles we've had that talk because he says that happened to me when we talked about when that one girl, the white girl that was Star's friend, the one with the thick eyebrows.
The blonde, I wanted to fucking punch her.
Yeah, the thick eyebrows. They bothered me. I wanted to pluck them or something. But when
not her eyebrows, just her.
When she was on the ground, to me, that was a pivotal moment of the movie.
Yep.
Because that is how a lot of people, a lot of blacks feel. They're on the ground cowering at someone over the top of them doing this. That is the feeling every single day. So if you have that feeling every day, and I thought that was a pivotal moment that's what she showed, and that girl was in that moment of being cowering down. I thought that was a really good moment of the movie.
Actually, honey.
Common made sense on the part where he talks about the police officer and what was going through the police officer's mind. Again, not all police are bad. The bad police are a very small percentage, but you put people in a scared situation where you don't have someone here at your back and you see the worst of things. Where Common says, this is what I would be doing because I don't know what he might do. He might be a gangbanger. He might pull out a gun. So Common made sense on that he talks about what was going through the police's mind. And the funny part of the movie is when the boyfriend came to the house. And when at prom night, and he comes to the house, and the brother 7 is walking with Star and the white boyfriend, and he goes, "All right, so you ready for this? You better be ready. You better show all your blackness. You better show all your blackness." And the kid's like, "Okay, I'm ready." He goes, "All right, so macaroni and cheese, that a main course or a side dish?" And the kid's like, he's trying to think. He says, "That's a main course." He goes, "No, that's a side dish. That's a side dish." And he said, "Well, it's got macaroni and cheese, and you sprinkle a little bit of bread on the top of it." He goes, "No, you're gonna lose it." And he goes, "Oh, y'all on your own." And I cracked up at that. And then when the dad hands the boy like some money, like, "Thanks for bringing her home," he thought he was the chauffeur. Which I think he knew it was her boyfriend, but he's just he's putting him on point. And he hands him, he goes, "You could go, you better get out of here before that car gets stolen." I cracked up at that. I thought that was one of the best parts. The father, of course, didn't want his daughter to date a white guy. But I like one of the parts that choked me up though was when he says, "Well, I guess," when the father says, "I guess I haven't been a good example of a black man for you." And she says, "No, you haven't." And there was that long pause, and she says, "You've been an excellent example of a man." And it wasn't, and I thought, that is a good point. And the dad, as a father, if your kids say stuff like that to you, you know how when your kids say stuff, I did my job kind of thing. And I thought that was a real pivotal point. And you also see where Star struggled with, she didn't want to be in the front. She didn't want to be seen. She just kind of wanted to blend in the background. And this movie forced her, or this character forced her to be in front. And she wanted to be in front. And I thought that also the father saying, "You've got to choose what's best for you," when he had that talk with him outside, lined up on the grass.
Yeah.
And he says,
and about being honest.
Yeah, you want to be honest. And if you want to talk, it's time for you to talk.
Yeah. There was like so many lessons in this movie.
Yeah.
Like so many lessons. Yeah. It was kind of crazy. Like,
but I thought the father was an awesome father.
Yeah.
And he also stayed in the community because he wasn't trying to just leave the black community because I can get out of that community. Let me get out of here. He was like, "I'm staying here to help make it better."
Well, and did you see too at the end where they burn his place down and all the rest of the men in the community stepped up and said it was this guy.
Yeah.
They weren't scared to say this. It was this guy.
And I thought that was good. So that's what I have. And I'm going to go ahead, Sharon.
Okay. Of course, I saw the movie originally with my family, and I loved it. And I like movies that make you think outside the box, And Star, I seen her in another movie. Well, she's starring in this movie, but in another great movie, Everything is Everything. It's just as good as this movie. And in the beginning of the movie, like you said, when they had the talk, teaching them about, where to put their hands at and how to act with the cops. What I wanted to say is the difference in that movie and the difference when she went out on when she was coming back from the party with the boy before he got killed. When the difference in both of the ways they were acting, Star was trained all her life. This is what you do. If you ever come in contact with the cops, this is what you do. Where he wasn't. His mom had remember his mom had got on drugs. His grandmother was kind of raising him. She was very sickly. So he ended up doing, not the best, selling drugs or whatever to help support his family. So he wasn't doing the best thing. So he wasn't thinking about, You know, he never been trained really what to do if he comes into contact with a cop like she was, you know. So that was very important because, you know, the first thing she did was when they did come in contact with cops, and when he pulled him over, the first thing she did was grab her phone, you know, and she got ready to record. He was like, put that phone down, you know, where she wanted to capture everything, you know, make sure everything was captured. Then she was trying to find his phone. And then when he go back over there and start talking to her, and she's like, you know, what are you doing? You know, go back to where he told you to stand. Don't be here talking to me. He's like, oh, it's all good. And he reaches in there for his brush so he can brush his hair to impress her some more. And he ends up getting killed. But had he had the same lessons that she was having, I'm pretty sure his reaction to the cop would have been totally different, more like hers. And then another part, of course, that really touched me is when everything first happened, when they went to the police station, instead of trying to find out more about everything that really did happen, they're more interrogating her, trying to interrogate the guy, the boy that just got killed.
Exactly.
What was he doing? Was he the cause of the shooting there at the party?
Selling drugs?
You know, was he selling drugs? Yeah, and stuff.
Yeah.
And she remembered that badge number, and she was like, "No, why aren't you asking me about cop, whatever his number was?"
Was it 118 or 115?
I think it was 185. I knew it was something 5 or something. Anyway, she kept remembering his badge number.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then, you know, it was like she was being interrogated for what she witnessed instead. And then to her uncle, you know, Kama came in there and he just put it to an end. No, he stopped it. And then, you know, when she did go home, she had the nightmares and she woke up and how her dad was there. He was like, I know what you're going through, you know. While she was getting sick and he was there to brush her hair and make sure everything was okay with her. You know, that was so touching, you know. And then even with her brother 7, you know, even though they both, he lived in between two worlds, he was more comfortable with the world with his dad and his stepmom and them than he was at home with his mom. And I forgot the other guy's name, but the guy who ended up being, who saved him, because remember his dad went to prison. Her dad went to prison years ago for 7's dad.
Yeah.
And that's how he ended up owning the store. And they end up, because of what happened, they end up becoming enemies and stuff. And then, you know, when it comes down to the point of her having to testify, you know, they're caught between, should I do what's right and come out and testify? Or, and then part of it, 7's dad wanting to make her keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Because he's so afraid that she's going to tell that the boy was selling drugs for him. Or tell his secrets. He's so worried about what King. Yeah. I couldn't remember his name.
That was one of the things that was awesome in the movie too, though, Sharon, is the fact that then after that, like, you find out that she actually saw somebody else die.
Yeah, her other best friend.
Yeah.
Me and the girl.
Look what happened. And it's like
on the playground.
Yeah.
Yep.
The 3 of them, they were best friends and they played Harry Potter together. Yeah. And then another thing was her friends at school, how she had to be star 1 star at home and then star 2.0 at school.
Yeah, yeah.
And stuff, how she had to put on this facade every time she went to school and stuff. How she really never could be herself. Even when the girl, like you said, the girl with the eyebrows, kept saying all this racist stuff and different stuff that got under her skin, she still had to bite her tongue. She still had to hold her breath until the moment she could. Even when her other friends were saying, "Hey, that's not cool. What are you doing? You know, don't you really?" When they didn't even know who Star was, the girl who witnessed it. You know, originally, because they wanted to keep a secret that she was, you know, one that had to go testify. You know, and then even when they found out, her friend was so insensitive. You know, through the whole movie, her other friends were sensitive, but her friend was so insensitive. She wanted to be black. She wanted to act black in different things. Like even in the beginning of the movie, when she was like, "Oh, I had it out. I mean, my boyfriend asked me to do something or whatever and stuff." And she was like, "You want me to get him?" You know, she wanted to act like that.
Yeah.
She didn't know what it was to be that.
Remember,
she was so insensitive.
You remember when she's walking down the hall and all the white kids are like doing like black slang to her, and she's like, "But if I use that, then I'm like hood." So she was like, "Yes, I think that's a great idea." Like she was like, you know. Oh, I was right. Hey, how you doing there, boo? And she's like, "Yeah, I'm doing very well. How are you doing?" It was like, oh.
Right. Or the boy who bumped her in the lunch line. but she couldn't say nothing back to him because where she was at. And then even when it came to the, and then like the part where it got to where she was going to go pro, you know, when it get to the point where she finally did come out slowly, when the woman, the activist woman, got her to finally go on there, and she didn't want to. Yeah, she didn't want to, but she finally won that little news program, and finally, you know, told it. Yeah, that lady from
Issa Rae.
Yeah, yes,
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae. Yeah, Issa Rae. Did she play on Slim? I think she did on the other movie. But she finally got her to come out and she finally did come on that little talk show and stuff. And then she finally went and testified and everything. But the movie did have a lot of parts in it that really made you think. You know, even down to the part where he was so determined to keep that secret that he tried to set the store on fire with his stepson and with her in there. With Star and Seven in there, tried to burn the store down. So, you know, even beat Seven, he said, because took a beating for her.
And you know what? I have to say that Anthony Mackie was very good in this as well, because I hated his fucking guts.
Yeah.
I hated him.
Yeah.
He did a really good role.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it was a very good movie. It made you think outside the box. She finally stood up for something, stood up in front of the crowd, and she finally stood up on her friend's behalf. So it was a great movie.
It was. It was a very good choice, Sharon.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll take the votes on this after we get done. Let's get done with 20 Feet from Stardom. We will take the votes, and we'll also open up the panel for the other folks. So we're going to go ahead. Let's jump over here to 20 Feet from Stardom.
Oh, Aubin. Oh,
no.
Aubin.
Oh, no.
I know. Okay, I know somebody else probably wants to go first, but can I go first?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Andrew, is that okay? Okay, 20 Feet from Stardom. I was about 5 minutes into it, and I could not stop. I mean, I can't anymore, but back in the day, I could sing pretty good. Like I used to love singing, and watching this blew my fucking mind. It was like the whole, I kind of understood the idea of it a little bit, where it seems like as you watch it more, most of these girls did want to be something else besides just singing in the background. Some of them though liked the whole not having to step up and the all the weight that went with it and the popularity and not being able to walk down the street. But my absolute favorite part of this has to be Tata Vega. Now, Tata Vega is the one in the bot right there.
Yep.
Is the singing voice from Color Purple, my favorite movie of all time. I did not realize it. Tata Vega sang all of Suge Avery's stuff. Oh my God. It was like blew my fucking mind. I'm like, oh my, that voice, that still to this day, I get goosebumps. God is trying to tell you something. Oh, so the thing that I loved about this the most is that when you get to see each of these girls is when you hear the songs they were involved in, and you know that woman's voice, but you don't know who the hell it is. Like, I mean, Stones and friggin' and this thing blew my mind. There was like you had what's his name there, a little skinny British guy,
Joe Cocker.
Cocker?
No, Ziggy Stardust.
David
Bowie.
David Bowie, yeah.
David Bowie gave Luther Vandross his first start. Luther Vandross, the Fisher, her first start. Lisa Fisher. Oh my God, that woman, man! I hear her, the notes she's hitting, the stuff she's doing. It blew my freaking mind. Deborah Love, same thing.
Yeah.
Girls, watching this, I've never been so enraptured with something as I was in this, and it was like unbelievable. These girls were so good, and it's like you forget when you hear this famous song, and the part of it that you love the most isn't Mick Jagger, It's the girl singing in the background, and I think that was Lisa Fletcher too, eh?
Yeah.
There she was there. Like that, it's just a shut away. It's just like her when she's like belting that out. It's like
No, Shout Away was wasn't it?
Was
it this
Stones.
one?
No,
and that was her.
Wasn't
that was Lisa. That was Lisa.
Lisa? Did Lisa
Yeah.
sing?
Lisa Fisher.
Yeah, Lisa
She was
Fisher.
talking about
It
being
was her
pregnant.
right there. It was her right there. Lisa
Okay,
Fisher.
okay.
She was like littler and long hair, but
Yeah, she had
holy-
long hair back then. Yeah.
Okay, that woman right there, all of them were fantastic. Lisa Fisher, that voice, and the non-ego, and the oh my god, man, she's a freaking angel.
She is. She's great.
Freaking angel. Oh, okay. So I'm done. I loved it. I'd watch it again. It was like blew my mind.
I'm glad you liked it.
Okay, that's it for me.
Anybody else want to go?
I'll go. I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll go next. 20 Feet from Stardom. I really liked it. And I will say now, even at work, we have a lot of it plays a lot of top music. Now I'm listening when I'm hearing the songs. I'm seeing, is there a background singers to that song? Is there? And because I want to hear it. When you talked about Luther Vandross, where David Bowie gave Luther, and you see Luther, and Luther was just precise how he wanted to be. He was just perfect about how he wanted the pitch to be.
Well, he said to her, breathy. And she's like,
Yeah.
Breathy.
I really thought, I was like, wow. And it really makes you think about these people that are unsung heroes. And I know that's probably a bad term, but they're unsung heroes in the music industry, but they're so important to the music industry. And when they talk about when they first went, was the Starlets or whatever they were, those first three,
The
Raelettes, and they got together and they were like,
no, it wasn't the Raelettes, weren't the first three.
No,
the
no,
ones
the Blossoms.
Blossom.
okay. And she said, you know, the white women were readers. They just read whatever the music was. And she says, in which we came and brought something different. And it reminds me of Ray. When we watched Ray, and Ray was bringing that gospelish feel to the music. And remember there was a lot of pushback on that. And in this, it's almost a documentary. They talk about,
it seemed like a documentary.
okay, but they talk about that they brought that gospel church choir feel to music, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed when Bruce Springsteen was talking. I mean, him talking about where he had met all these people and had worked with these people. And you realize how much was going on. And when David Bowie, or not David Bowie, when Mick Jagger is talking about when they got, was it Lisa or Mary, whoever it was, where they came and sang, where she sang, and she had curlers in her hair, and she was pregnant.
That was
like, and she said,
the night with the nightgown on.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That wasn't Lisa though.
And she's like, and I sang the first part, and then he's like, okay, well, let loose. And she's like, I was gonna blow him away. And then, that it is part of the song that you would never think about, but that part of the song was so.
That's the part you love about the song.
Rape and murder and murder and rape. Yeah, you just never think about
that. Wasn't Lisa then? Who was that?
I was Mary. I thought.
No, I thought it was Lisa.
I thought it was Mary.
Lisa sang.
There's that lady right there.
I thought Mary did. I thought she did the part where it's just a shout away.
She did. You're right. You're totally right. Lisa did another Stones tune though,
because she said she was pregnant. Lisa didn't have no kids.
No,
she said maybe I should have got married and had kids. And Mary because she said I was pregnant and had my hair up in curlers, and she says I just went on down there, and you know, because they were just doing it to make
What?
some money, huh?
Lisa Fisher did "Give Me Shelter."
Game. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So thank you, DeBeach.
What was it?
But yeah, yeah, it was. There was so much in that. It reminds me when we watch some of these movies that have the music, like the music that you know, Ray. When we were watching Ray, so many of them songs you could feel it. And you're like, oh, I remember that song. That song's so good. This movie does the same thing. I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a really good job of selling you on that. But also when they talk about this 20 feet from stardom, you also see that to move, and Bruce Springsteen said that, I think, or was it Mick Jagger that said moving it from the back to the front is miles away in what you have to do and who you got, because you're not just doing what somebody else is wanting. You've got, you don't have to just be part of someone else's vision. You have to be the vision. And I thought that made perfect sense. Even if you had a great voice, doesn't mean that you're going to make it. I mean, you watch American Idol, there's a lot of great voices, but some of them.
Well, Lisa Fisher won a Grammy, right? And then she said, it's like things sort of
it took so long for her second album to come out.
Yeah, that's why
so
then
long.
Shot.
Yeah, and everything is timing. And I can't. Who was it? Was it Mick Jagger? Who was it that says everything's about timing? It's time.
Sting, actually.
Who? Sting. Sting. You're right. Yes, it was Sting. And he's like, it's just luck. It's timing. Everything's got to just be just right. And you can be the best singer, but the best singer doesn't make it. I mean, you know, so, and I also loved this part when they had Tina Turner and her dancers.
The Inkettes.
Yeah, and he's like, I want the boys hot. I want the guys hot.
Yeah.
You know, where they're wearing almost nothing. And they were good dancers, you know, so I enjoyed it. So that's what I got from that.
Okay.
Who wants to be next?
I'll be next.
Okay.
Listen. Okay. I thought it was a great documentary, as the beach say. I learned a lot. It was like a history lesson and stuff, because a lot of these people I didn't realize sang in a lot of songs that we've heard over the years, whether it was in a TV show or a movie and stuff. And like the one young girl, I remember her around the time when Michael Jackson passed. I remember her singing at Michael Jackson's funeral.
Her.
Yeah, I didn't really notice her when they was making the "This Is It" movie, because they did show a lot of stuff when "This Is It," but when Michael Jackson's funeral was, I do remember that.
Right.
And she was a pretty good singer, and I thought that she probably was going to end up being like a breakout star with an album and stuff. So the Judith Hill girl. But that was great that Stevie Wonder took her under his wings, and she was able to sing backup for the Mary Lady, and as well as other stars, because she said that she turned down a lot of backup roles to do backup singers, because she was just trying to go to become trying to go forward to become a that big star for herself. But she realized that she had gave in and decided to do some backup work, which is great, and she's great on her own, but even all the backup singing she did was great as well. And the Lisa Fisher, when they showed her working with Luther Vandross, I never knew, that Luther Vandross as well started off singing behind David Bowie and stuff. And and then it showed when she had won the Grammy, the first thing she did was thank Luther Vandross, She's like, I thank him, for believing in me. And he was right there with her to win the Grammy and stuff. And when you do go back and listen to Luther Vandross songs, you can kind of, hear her voice in it. And, that was great that when she did do her breakout hit or song, she did win a Grammy. But like she said, it took so long for that second album to come out. And that's what happens to a lot of artists, is that their album is ready or been ready, but is pushed back so long that you forget about them. And as I say, you're only as good as your last hit record. And also, another thing I was thinking about when watching this movie now is one thing they said in the movie is that, and I think they said it towards the end, they don't really have background singers like they used to.
Mhm.
And I noticed that when I watched, this was about, it may have been, it was several years ago. Monica had she had a thing on MTV, a reality show, and she was getting ready to have an album coming out, and she did a reality show, and it kept filming her making her album. And one day she would go in and make the vocals for, her main part. She was like, "Oh, I got to go do these backup vocals." And she said, "Because I do all the backup vocals for my songs." And I was like, "Why is she doing all the backup vocals? Don't they have backup singers?" But they showed her, recorded her doing the backup vocals. And then even with other artists, I've seen them, Queen Naj and other artists, I've seen them, when they showed them going in the studio and doing most of their own backup music these days, because they have gotten rid of a lot of the backup artists.
When they showed this scene, wasn't this her recording it and doing the different tracks? So it was showing her singing the different parts, but it was just one. So that was what I thought. I was like, very interesting.
Yes. And then it showed her when she was working with, I never knew that she worked with the Rolling Stones and with all these other groups. And then with that one lady, when she said she worked with Tina Turner, but she also worked with, when she was saying that they were one of the first Barbie dolls or something because people liked them so much. And then she also worked with the Rolling Stones as well as Sting and different artists. So, and then the one guy was on there, and he was just open and sing for some movies and stuff. So yeah, it was a lot. And like you said, the lady who did all the songs for the Color Purple, a lot of the songs for the Color Purple. She said she was kind of glad she didn't end up becoming a solo artist, even though she really, wanted to be one so bad. So yeah, it was a pretty great watch for me. I enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
All right. Andrew, I guess you're next.
Andrew.
Am I last or is?
Then you got Alban.
Oh, then Alban. Right. Okay. Yeah, this one. It's funny, Todd. You said it was like a documentary. It actually was a documentary. So.
Okay. Well, then that's why it felt like it.
Yeah. This one. I gotta admit, the beginning I didn't catch much of the beginning because I had this on while I was doing housework. So after I finished doing the housework, I think I missed about the first 20 minutes. It was on and off. I was in between it. Because I was trying to squeeze it in between doing other stuff so I could get on here and talk about it. And when I finally sat down and watched it properly, I did find it interesting that a lot of people, there's a lot of people put on this earth with fantastic talents, like these women, like these backup singers. And it's just it shows you how hard it is to actually put that talent to good use and to get some sort of success out of it. Because even though these people were really, really fantastic singers and they've been on some of these really big, massive sound tracks and songs and stuff, they still were having to go back to being a cleaner or doing normal jobs or couldn't afford to pay the bills. I think one of them was it Lisa Fisher that couldn't afford to pay her bills, trying to send her kids.
It was that lady who was a Barbie, the one who ended up being a teacher, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was one of them. The one that became the Spanish
Claudia,
teacher.
because she was a Spanish teacher.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's just amazing, how these people with such talent cannot afford to provide for kids or pay bills and stuff like that. When I mean, you've been given this God-given talent, and it's because the business of music is just it's a business. It's a horrible. It's been made really corporate, and it was interesting to hear one of them say that they hadn't heard that they had been ringing around each other and said they hadn't had any phone calls about jobs because they hadn't heard a backup vocalist on a music on a song for 5 years. And when they said that, I was thinking to myself, yeah, it's been a long time since I heard like backup vocalists who aren't the actual artist themselves singing on a song, like a really popular one as well.
Mhm.
So, but I think these people add so much to the tracks, and like these tracks, like the Stevie Wonders and the Rolling Stones and the Stings of this world, some of their songs wouldn't be as good as what they were if they didn't have these people doing the backup vocals.
100%.
Yeah, because that's like the little something extra that the song needed was like there was different voices and there was powerful voices in the background. So I found that, and there's one other thing. Like I'm not going to go on too long because I only take out what I took from it, and the one interesting thing I found from what I took from what some of the massive stars were saying, like Sting said. Oh god, it's totally just popped out of my head. It's literally just popped out of my head. This it was on the tip of my tongue. I was thinking about it this whole time, and he was on about how the people like who do these shows like American Idol and like these kind of reality pop shows, they kind of skip. They skip like the
Working their way
like
up.
working their way up
Mhm.
in the trials and tribulations that these backup singers go through. They skip that and they go straight to the stardom, and that made me think about some people who's won these type of shows and where they are now, because there's very little of them that are actually successful.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood and who's the first one that won it? Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
Yeah, Kelly Clarkson would be one. I've been to see her live. She's actually a really good singer. Even Carrie Underwood, like she just couldn't.
Carrie
Does she
Underwood.
do? I mean, I guess she's really popular in America, not so much in UK. But she's like country music, is she? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes country music. She's
Yeah.
she's
But she's-
popular in my world.
Which is
Todd,
big.
He's Todd's cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and
That's
I
my
just-
hall pass.
I just think about the I think about the people who won the UK versions of these shows, and I just think about how many of them. There's very little of them that are still like popular now,
Mhm.
and I think it is like what Sting said, that didn't have this experience going through the system and like doing this like not like lower level. I wouldn't like say lower level type
No, just paying their dues.
jobs, but paying their dues and being on these backups to these big stars and stuff like that. So I did find that that one bit that Sting mentioned was interesting, and it's sad that people with such talent have to be in the background. But like you said, some of them didn't mind being in the background. They wanted to be in the background. They didn't want to be massive stars. But it's a shame not to have these people in records. There should always be like backup singers on. I'm not saying every single song, but there should always be backup singers around in the world of music. There shouldn't just be like you were talking about before. There's the one artist singing their own backup vocals,
Yeah.
or even they said in the documentary that people would get family members and stuff like that to do the backup vocals because it was cheaper. It's just like just pay these women the money because you're gonna get a good singer, you're gonna get a good sound out of it, and you're gonna probably have a top hit. And it's just these people are key to music and the key to the world of music and the business of music. So I did find it very interesting. Once I actually sat down and stopped cleaning
the house.
up or doing the dishes or whatever. So yeah, it was an interesting one over, and it was nice to see it like sit down and watch a documentary and not like a movie for a change.
Right. Okay.
No, that's all I've got.
Okay. All right. I'm.
Did Sharon go?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say this real
went.
quick too. I just want to say this real quick, and I'll let you go. I also thought it was a good part where that one lady, the one who had the kid curls on, that was pregnant when Leonard Skinner came along, and they want her to sing "Sweet Home Alabama." She was like, "Absolutely not." Her husband was like, "Yes, you're going to sing that song.
You're gonna sing it.
You're going to sing that song. You just don't know how much that song means. You're going to sing that song." So, yeah, I like that part too.
Yeah. All right. I'm really happy everyone liked this. You know, I did mention it was a documentary.
We haven't voted. We haven't voted yet, so don't get.
Oh,
We have not tallied the ballots yet, so
Oh boy!
don't get ahead of yourself, okay?
Oh boy! I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm just glad
Andrew looks like
everyone liked it.
Pennsylvania. He might take a while to vote. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I love music, as everyone knows. You know, otherwise I wouldn't have so much of it. Because I've been around a lot of musicians. I used to work for Def Jam at one point, and I listened to everything. And when I was first turned on to this, I was like, oh, I love this. I love this. This is just great, because I knew a lot of people who were backup singers, and this is just such a great insight for a lot of people, you know. And I know we're talking about Lisa Fisher here. I actually met her at the Blue Note here in the city, and she sang with one of my other most favorite artists, which is Rochelle Farrell. Now, if anybody knows anything about Rochelle Farrell, you know that she sings circles around Lisa Fisher, and Lisa Fisher can get up there. I urge any one of you to go and listen to Rochelle Farrell, and you will not believe the stuff that she can hit. It's just completely out of this world. And it's like there are a lot of singers who wish they can sing like her. So check it out. There's so many things in this movie, documentary actually. Everything from, you know, watching the Raylettes. I know we just, you know, watched Ray, and to see the Raylettes, you know, really in action, you know what I mean? And knowing really what they had went through. When you think about how Ray was just like, well, you know, get another set of girls, because it was that easy back then, you know, to get real girls that really wanted to sing. Watching Joe Cocker contorting on stage, that was hilarious, you know, because it brought me back. You know, I love Joe Cocker, you know, and to know that, you know, who he had, you know, in front of him singing for him, you know, behind him singing for him is just so much. I know someone has said something before about there not being any musicians today, and it's just like, it's all this auto-tune crap, and you know, it's just such a joke that, you know, that's why I don't listen to any of the new stuff, because it's not real music, you know, and a lot of people can't understand that, because
they use the machines to tune it instead of them being able to do it professionally. Right,
and it just sucks, you know. So I don't listen to any of the new stuff. You know, when you how like the Blossoms, how they sang for everyone, all when they were listing all the tracks that they were on, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is, it's impossible, you know what I mean? But they did it, you know, and that was work, you know what I mean? That was real work, you know. A lot of them did it, you know, pretty great in all other things, you know, that how they were getting, you know, ripped off, like look at Phil Spector, you know what he did, you know what I mean?
Was that with Mary? Wasn't
he?
She sang the song, and then they gave it to somebody, basically. Gave it to somebody else.
Yeah, give it to someone else. It's you know, it's hard being black. Okay, so just so you understand, this has been going on a long time. Okay, all right. That's all I got to say, because I know the others that are going to jump in. They're going to have a lot to say.
We got some people that jumped in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see. Eddie was first. So Eddie, what was your thoughts? And you can cover either one of the two movies. We had two movies. We had the Hate You Give and 20 Feet from Stardom.
Okay. I'll start off with the 20 Feet from Stardom. That documentary, like everybody should say, you know, it should be longer. There was a lot of people that was missed out on this. Mm-hmm. Like background singers usually make the artist, and I'm wondering sometimes that the background singers are so good that even the artists try to keep them as background singers and not let them go out on their own. Okay. What I find is, okay, usually the main artist, I'll give you an example, like Ray Charles, he'd say, okay, here are the Raylettes. But he wouldn't say the Raylettes, their names.
Mhm.
He'd just call them the Raylettes.
Mhm.
Okay. But each one had its own particular volume or sense of music. Another one was Ike and Tina Turner. Ike and Tina Turner, I think, was even the worst one. Because Ike and Tina Turner, when he started off, the Ike and Tina Turner Review, okay, and he had the Ikettes, he used to be very strict with them, and dress code, all the whole shit, okay? But those artists were there to do what they loved. But they were being put down or not even notified by Ike and Tina Turner, which were the big gurus. The only one that I really found out that really showed up a background singer was James Brown. I don't know if you've ever seen James Brown show. James Brown would always show off his singers. There was one, I think her name is Martha Height. She was a big, stocky woman. She was one of the main singers. She was with Ray Charles for about a good 30 years. She had blonde, white hair, okay? But every time a new background singer came up, James Brown would let her upstage and let her show herself off. I'll give you an example of that. Martha Whitney was one. Lynn Collins was another one. These ones, the only thing is that they were so good that James Brown still had a control over them, but they were still shown in the show as a background singer, but they were still being controlled by James Brown. There's Gladys Knight and the Pips. Okay, she had 3 guys instead of 3 girls. But each one of those was an artist by himself. There's another one. In this movie, in this documentary, one that really knocked me off was Mary Clayton. I love Mary Clayton. I think I got most of her LPs, most of her music. But there's a lot of other ones like Memphis music, stack music, okay? Like you had the Staple Singers. Staple Singers,
Yeah.
the father, the 2 daughters, and the son, okay? They were a gospel group. Then all of a sudden started to come out as Mavis Staples started to come out on her own.
Yeah.
But her sister was her backup singer. Even today, her sister of Mavis Staples is still her background singer. The same thing with Aretha Franklin. Not too many people, I don't know if everybody knows about it, but the oldest sister of Aretha Franklin was Aretha Franklin's backup sister, Irma Franklin. She tried to go out on her own, but it didn't work. But you can go on. There's so many people like Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. She had 2 backup singers there. You had the Supremes. She had two backup singers. It's all, the backup singers make the artist. Without those backup singers, you ain't going to go nowhere.
Right.
So that's...
Well, Gimme Shelter without... Apparently, it was both the girls, by the way. Originally, it was Mary, and then it was...
Mary Clayton.
Then it was Lisa did it later on.
Right.
Like the 90s or something in concert with them.
But I think Mary
Without
Clayton...
that female voice in that song would not have been what it is.
No. But Mary Clayton, I think she had an affair with Mick Jagger. Too,
Mick,
right?
yeah.
They showed kind of, they implied that she had multiple affairs with different people.
Yeah.
They kind of made that imply.
Yeah, they wanted to keep her.
But also, I don't know if you ever heard the album Joe Cocker and the Mad Englishman. Okay. On that one with Leon Russell and Mary Clayton, that blew me away. Oh yeah, that was good. Okay, that's my side on 20 feet.
Okay.
Like I could go on. I could keep on going
Oh.
on that one.
I knew that was right up. That was right in your wheelhouse, right there.
That's my shot. Okay, let's get okay. The hate you give. Okay. I knew this one was going to be a little bit of controversial. Well, it's controversial in one sense. It was made in 2018. Okay, Black Lives Matter virtually just came out in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but in 2018 it was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What we're seeing today, it's not new. It's been going on. Like everybody says, the only reason why we're seeing it now because people have,
Mm-hmm.
and they're showing it a little bit more. But you know,
It's always been there.
I have to say, okay, I had to talk with my sons. I have two sons, and I had to have a talk with them. But my father didn't have a talk with me because I lived in I was born in the UK, and I lived in the UK, and it wasn't the same as living in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came to Canada, my father was working on construction. He was gone. But my aunt, my father's sister, gave me the talk. She was one. She told me about it. So when I got to a point where my sons were at that age, I had to give them the talk too. And even my son is giving his sons the talk today. So, you know, it's not, this movie is just bringing everything to light. It was a very good movie. I love the music. I love the setup, the writing, the actors were very good, but it's controversial. Cops, like you say, okay, like Blue was talking about in Canada. Okay, well, Blue, I have to say that in Canada, it's there, but it's a little bit subtle. It's a little bit more subtle, but it's there. Like, how many black kids have I seen being shot down or heard about being shot down, but shot in the back? Even one had his hands up and he shot him, just shot him the same. But you can go all across Canada, and in Vancouver, it could be the Asians. You can go inside in Saskatchewan, it could be the natives. It's all different all over the place. But it doesn't matter. Cops have to be cops. They're doing what they're trying to do, but there's a lot of bad ones to mix up with the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, I was thinking about, should I tell my son about this? Right now, they're working on a movie, but I haven't talked to him about it. But I'm going to tell him he has to show his son this movie. This movie's going to make put the point on the E. So that's what I have to say. I love the movie. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you as always. Mr. Roger.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody this week? Hope
Great.
you-
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for the invite, as always.
Yeah.
I don't know which of these movies is better this week. They were both pretty good movies. I guess I'll start with the hate you get or you give. One thing that Eddie just said, that Black Lives Matter was a 2020 thing. I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it started back during the Trayvon Martin deal. I think it's like 2014, 2013 that it started, to be honest with you. So Black Lives Matter isn't a new deal anyway. At least it's not.
We're Canadians, so if we don't hear about it, we don't hear about it.
Yeah, I don't think you guys just go around killing black people for no good reason up there.
Not me personally.
I'll applaud you all for that. Some of you guys did a great job of hitting all the points in that movie already. I mean, the acting was great, the script was great, cinematography was great, the soundtrack was great.
Yeah.
That little girl, Amanda, I think is her name. I had to look up to make sure she was old enough to think she was pretty, because oh golly, was she pretty. My funny part of the movie, Todd, I do agree your part was funny, but I thought Seven's mom, who got really vocal and obnoxious at social events, you know,
at
Oh, at the funeral.
At the
At the
funeral.
funeral, yeah.
yeah, at the funeral when her boy was graduating, I thought that was funny. I really did. And I think this movie hasn't been seen by enough people. It really needs to be seen more. Everyone should watch it. It's got a good message.
Mhm.
They're not telling any lies because that stuff is happening all too often here in America. I don't know how to fix the problem. I think one of the things that we as a country should definitely demilitarize our police force.
Yeah.
And that might even start with not hiring combat veterans as police officers anymore, because the two different trainings that they have, when you're a combat soldier, you're trained to kill. That's what you do, is you kill. And I don't think we want cops to be
No.
trained in that.
They're supposed to be trained to protect.
Yeah. So I think we should lean more towards some college education in social worker type of things.
Yeah.
As opposed to military vets. But that's just me on there. I felt horrible that Star had to be Star 2.0 at her other school. She couldn't be herself. And it was a great movie. It really was. I agree with Blue. I hated Anthony Mackie's character, and I think he had to be so despicable to put the hate on that little boy, to show the hate to the little boy, to make sense, you know, for the thug life, that hate you give, you know, to show that cycle just has to be stopped. We just got to stop it. It's just insane. Other than making you feel bad, that's a great movie. And Sharon, I don't know if I said this yet or not, but it is by far the best movie that you've made me watch yet. So, and thanks for making me watch it. I really.
You know, you were just saying, you know, I don't know how we fix this. I think probably one of the ways that we can fix this as white folks is to speak out for people that this is happening to. I think if enough of us speak out about it, it'll shut the fuck up out of the pricks that are speaking out and are saying ignorant people like things to people. It's like anything. If you saw anybody being talked to ignorantly, you'd go, hey, back the fuck off. So I think if everybody actually spoke up, maybe it would make a difference in the world. I'd like to think so. Because I think most of these people are cowards, to be honest. They're a little emboldened right now. And if somebody else stood up for somebody, it could make a difference. Hopefully,
I agree.
Not, but you know,
I agree, Blue.
These Trumpers are going around with their friggin' guns and shit. I'm getting a little scary, but fuck them.
Well, hopefully we won't have to deal with them much longer, thanks to our black people here in America, because they are the ones that are getting rid of Trump for us. And thank you for that.
And you know what? A lot of kids.
A lot of young people voted this time.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Because they're normal. You know, they're not, most of them are ingrained with hatred and stuff. No, you know what I mean though? They're more, you can't say socialist. They're more, I don't know, they're just more easygoing about it. Like, because most of them aren't brought up in hatred. Some of them are, yeah. But most of them aren't. Most of them are just, you know, a person is a person is a person. It doesn't matter what color we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many of those votes were legal?
Oh yeah, all of them apparently. I think there's about six. I think there's like six that aren't, and I think they've all turned out to be Trumpers votes.
Yeah, so far
it's funny.
So far
they were legal until he started losing, then they became illegal.
Exactly. And they're not illegal in the states he won, just in the states he didn't win.
Yeah, and so far the only ones that have been proven are Republican voters. So
exactly. Yeah, that lady that did it for her mom, her dead mom.
Yeah.
Voted for Trump for her.
Yeah. Now, as far as the other movie goes, oh my goodness, was it good? Thanks, Ann. Thanks so much, Almond. That was a great movie. I'm kind of ashamed to say that the only person in that whole movie, well, that's not true because I'd heard of all the Stings, all the Stevie Wonders, and all the backup singers anyway. The only one that I had ever heard of before was Darlene Love, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only name I ever had in my head. But I remember God, this was so long ago. It was either in the late 70s or early 80s. There was a picture that was in some magazine of Mick Jagger with this beautiful, beautiful black girl. And I didn't have any idea who she was until this movie.
Yep.
And it was Claudia.
Claudia.
Oh my God, was Claudia hot in the 70s and the early 80s. And this movie, I had never really thought about how much the background singers make the music. So many of the songs that I love and just love. And I really, Blue's right. I love the backup singer part of it. If you take them out, that's not going to be such a good song
Wasn't a
anymore.
hit. No.
Yeah, it was just a song. And it's a shame that the record company today, any of the backup singing, I think they said at some point in the movie that they just schedule very little time for the backup singers because they'll just fix it in post. They'll just auto-tune them to however they want them to sound like.
But those girls didn't need to be tuned. They were
God, no.
They got there. They had their shit together.
Yeah, they sang their asses off.
Yeah.
So again, Aubin, thanks. Great movie. That's about all I need to say.
And that's what, for me, what was neat about Lisa Fisher when she talked about it, though, and she talked about how she loved the fact that she could enhance somebody else's voice, that she could make it fuller, make it. That to me is like the craft, and the way she talks about it. I think that's why I liked her the best, is that she was so soulful and so. It wasn't about her, and it wasn't about her ego. It was about bringing something special to it, and just the way it made her feel, the vibration of it. I don't know. I was like, oh, I like that.
One other thing I did want to mention is, if you think back to what we know now as of how bad Motown treated even their main acts, like Smokey Robinson didn't have a pot to piss in until the 90s because Motown had all his money. So if you do that to one of their big stars, how did they treat these girls? They had to treat these girls horribly. Is that a jet coming to get you?
Yeah,
It's not for me.
Sleeping on a jet
That's my plane coming in.
Don't know when I'll be back again.
All right, that's it. I'll pass on to Professor Penn if he's ready.
Yeah.
Yes. How everybody doing?
What's up?
Doing well.
All right, that's good. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
So
Mr. Penn.
yes, I'll start with the Hate You Give. So Hate You Give gives real life examples of how society uses stereotypes against Black people to justify violence and racism. So the scene in which my friend Khalil, he was murdered. It was almost as like, I was watching, like flashbacks of what you see on the news or what you hear about it through social media. The cop, I think his name was referred to 115, and the guy was reaching for a hairbrush, and the cop thought it was a gun. So he acted, or he reacted, to the situation because he told him certain directions, and her friend obviously didn't follow directions, and he had to pay the consequences. But I think the movie highlights on aspects of standing up for yourself, learning that like not getting involved in the drug scene as well. Because one of the scenes in the film where the family was at a different location, and the father and the son decided to go back to where the violence had originally begun at their house.
And their house got shot up.
Yeah, the house got shot up. And I thought that was like a dumb move. I'm like, whoa, like don't put yourself right back in the heat. So it was one of those movies that like that really gave you a realistic idea of how life is in America, especially being Black, and how things can get really real quick.
Yeah.
So definitely an eye opener, and just one of the things I learned from the film was the follow directions really, and be very cautious and be respectful and know your surroundings, and know who you surround yourself with. gotta be careful.
Mhm.
So overall thoughts, great pick, Sharon, on that for sure. And for 20 Feet from Star, that was another good pick as well. And it gave me some insight. The backup singers are very essential to a song. I mean, hearing the names of like Maple John, Suzanne Green, Mary Clayton, Darnell Love, and Lisa Fisher. And what stood out with that is that these performers, they begin their singing careers in the gospel, church choirs. And one of my earliest memories of hearing people sing was indeed at church. So that seems to be a great foundation for a lot of musicians these days.
And did you see at the very beginning though? It was really funny because they flashed all the girls. My daddy was a preacher. My daddy was a preacher. My daddy. They all were.
Yeah. I thought it was like real. I thought it was like a real interesting it was great seeing the background behind the songs, and even with the interview with Stevie Wonder, as it was a statement about people started wanting songs with more feeling, and it was really about the passion about music. Like everybody shared the same passion. Everybody was trying to become the best and really trying to grind, because this is a professional business, and there's people out there that's really trying to make it for it. And I think the documentary gave a highlight on what goes on in the background, with these musicians and how their life to life and their day to day are. And I thought it was great insight overall on the passion of it. So great pick.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So let's go ahead and we will start with the player pass. So folks, you guys are over on the side chat that you didn't join the show. Player pass, and you can do if you choose one to be a pass. If one's a pass and one's a play, then you can do it, or both passes or both plays. Go ahead and give your answers on that. As Alban says, if you are in part of our Telegram group, for player pass, you can vote on there as well. So we're going to start with Professor Penn because he's at the bottom here, and so I don't forget nobody. So Professor Penn, on the two movies, player pass for each one.
Play on both.
Thank you, sir. Roger.
Play on both. Great picks this week. Good job, both of you guys.
Thank you, Roger. Blue.
I'm a double thumbs up.
Okay, and Andrew.
Double thumbs.
Two thumbs. All right. Good job. Thank you, Andrew. Eddie.
Super double throw.
Super double throw. This is supers and doubles. Sharon, thoughts? Your plays are player pass for both?
Play on both. 2 thumbs up. 2
plays. Okay. Alban.
2 thumbs up.
And for me, 2 thumbs up. So I don't know. That's unanimous for both movies. I don't know if we've had both movies had all plays, and that one looks.
Didn't it last week? Weren't they both plays all last week too?
What was last week? Was it me?
Last week was live.
Yeah.
I've got the other. And my cousin Vinny, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been. This was more of an enthusiastic thumbs up from everybody, though. I feel like.
All right, hey. So I've got to wait for my mouse because I just unplugged my mouse. I think. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going through here. Sorry, you guys, for that. So we got
play on both.
Plays. I see all plays. So all plays for everybody. So we'll go with plays for both of those. So check those out. The Hate You Give and 20 Feet from Stardom. Both very different movies, but both very good movies / documentaries for the second one.
Okay, and so for picks for this week, because Cam isn't here, it is Todd and Andrew.
Oh. Fuck.
Let the fight begin.
Yep.
All right. And you know what? All right, I'm gonna go with me first. And Blue, My all-time favorite movie. I've got to go with that one.
Cool Hand Luke.
I'm going to go with Cool Hand Luke. So for you younger folks, this was made the year I was born, Andrew, 1967.
Fucking hell. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Long time.
So I'm going to go with Cool Hand Luke. That is on my list. Again, Blue knows that's my favorite movie of all times. So we're going to go with that. And I will say this one thing about my pick, because we can't watch this trailer. Please take a look and closely look at some of the actors that are in it, because this cast is all stars. I mean, there's people that weren't big stars when that movie was made, but they were on the rise. So,
Todd.
Yeah.
Nobody can eat 50 eggs.
my boy can eat 50 eggs.
Harry Dean Stanton, Dennis Hopper. Friggin'
My boy can eat 50 eggs. Hey, when he does this, he goes,
George Kennedy.
"Oh, that's like a ripe watermelon ready to pop there, boys. Can you get a little bit more money, boys? Put your money where your mouth is, boys."
Okay, you can see why it's his favorite movie. He knows every line to it.
That's also one of the first movies I owned on videotape, Todd.
Yeah, and you know, Roger, that's one of those movies you don't want to sit beside him and watch.
The floor walker.
I can
I'm
say most
Floyd
of the
the Floor
lines
Walker.
too.
I'm Floyd
Play
the Floor
with
Walker.
either of them.
All right, so I'm sorry. All right.
Andrew, what you got?
Oh God, I'm on the spot here.
Somewhere? What?
I said I'm on the spot here because I hadn't had one in mind. I'm looking at my list. I'm gonna go with. It's got Todd's favorite actor in, and it's called. It's Frailty.
What?
It's what?
Frailty.
Frailty.
Yeah. Bill
Yeah,
Paxman.
well, that was a good one.
Matthew McConaughey.
Frailty.
Frailty.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oh, it's a good one.
Well, it's got Matthew McConaughey.
That's a really nice choice, Andrew.
Wow. All right, so I've got to look that up myself.
Added detract.
Well, if you
All
haven't seen it, Todd, it'll be a nice one for you.
Yeah. This is. I
Yeah,
swear.
you're young.
2001.
Put the trailer in the.
It says a man confesses to an FBI agent his family's history or his family's story of how his religious fanatic father's visions led to a series of murders to destroy supposed demons.
Yep.
It's good.
All right. Well,
I remember that one.
I do not remember that. I know. I've not seen that one.
Excellent.
Yep.
So it's 2001. Okay. All right. So I've got it. Oh, wait. Did I hear somebody? Oh, Roger jumped out for a second. So Frailty. Wow. Okay. All right. 2001. Thriller. I hope Matthew's not a bad guy in it. That's going to mess me up.
You have to watch and see, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So Frailty and Cool Hand Luke are the two movies this coming week. So definitely some fun movies to watch. Let's see.
I think my next movie that I'm picking, that most people aren't going to like it, but I don't even care.
I almost picked Cabin in the Woods to watch for Halloween, but I saw it just a few weeks. I saw it just a few months ago. That's a great. If you have never seen that,
person at all, but what makes that one work is the funny side of the side of the horror movie.
So yeah, so folks, if you've never seen Cabin in the Woods, see it. It's not your typical horror movie.
No,
it's
so much more.
Yeah, it is. It's a really great movie. So Frailty and Cool Hand Luke.
Yep.
I like Jim's suggestion in the chat there.
What was that?
Jim?
I think everyone should pick a movie from the year they were born.
Oh, there you go. This one.
Okay.
This is my movie. I was born in 67.
Okay, so Andrew means you're up next, when you have to pick, and me and Robin.
Yeah. Well, mine will be from '67 too.
He'll pick Cool Hand Luke too.
Oh,
Mine
Well,
will be
in
the
the
best.
heat of, hey,
Mine's
in
from
the heat of-
84. 84, so
it's like
pick
yesterday.
was there any good movies in '84?
Even
Oh, yeah.
84,
Oh,
1984
great.
wasn't even done in '84. I don't.
Okay, my year, I have to admit, my year was phenomenal. 71, I've got Diamonds Are Forever, Duel, Clockwork Orange, Willy
Oh.
Wonka, Dirty
Oh.
Harry,
Oh, yeah.
I've
Fiddler
got.
on the Roof. I had a
I'll
good
just.
year.
Can I just rattle off some of the
Yeah.
ones from my year?
Yep.
Gremlins, the Karate Kid,
Oh my God.
Beverly Hills Cop,
Oh,
Classics.
Footloose,
oh my God.
Oh, you're killing me.
Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, The Terminator,
Oh, classic.
That's classic.
The
How about
Never-Ending-
Scarface?
Never-Ending
His
Story,
closet?
Never-Ending Story,
Oh,
Ghostbusters,
Oh no.
Splash.
All right, so Andrew, what won an Academy Award and all that? Because I'm
No,
thinking,
you know what?
I'm struggling. Which one of those
okay,
would
the
win
best
Academy
part
Awards?
about that is they are all in their own way.
The
Really,
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Ghostbusters and Gremlins. It's Splash.
Gremlins is my favorite Christmas movie. Come on now.
Great movie. Oh, Jesus, Andrew, that was friggin' funny.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay, all right, there we go.
Johnny Depp in it too. He's one of the first people to die in it.
Purple Rain.
Purple.
Oh, Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Just
You
watch a
know,
little Sheila E.
Andrew,
I-
have you seen Purple Rain?
Well, obviously not.
Oh my
Come on.
goodness.
oh, that's a
Did-
great movie. Actually, all right.
Did
So
you
this
see
is.
it?
So I had to watch Purple Rain. I had stepsisters that I was living with at the time when Purple Rain came on VHS, and they played it and played it and played it and
Yeah.
played it. You know, it's one of those where they would
Oh,
all the
Uh-huh.
girlfriends come over. I was like,
I
oh,
forgot.
again.
Romance in the Stone.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
I
Great.
got that on Laserdisc.
That's back when she was sexy.
I tell you what, Andrew, you had a good movie year.
He did.
Hey,
That's,
hey,
that's what I'm
I
telling
like
you.
all of those.
the beach has it. You might explain Andrew's picks.
I
See?
think I won. I think I won when I said Gremlins.
So this explains why your picks aren't always so good, Andrew.
Come on, Gremlins. Come on.
Gremlins is awesome.
Splash
Ghostbusters.
was great. They were all actually they were Ghostbusters. Original Ghostbusters was great.
The original, yes.
The first Terminator.
Yeah.
The Terminator. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't have that on VHS?
Huh?
So, yeah, just calm down, the beach, okay? Just calm down.
All right, so we got that going. That's an idea. That's a very good idea about.
I will,
movies.
I'll definitely pick one that was in my ear next time I have a pick. For sure.
Todd took
will
mine.
Hey, I was born '67, so this is I've created this one. This is why we created it. And the only reason I happen to be looking up, I did watch a thing just a few weeks ago where they did like a commentary. I didn't realize that I had downloaded the commentary where it gave a director's thing
Yeah.
as they were talking about the movie as you're going through it. It was quite interesting. Jim says One That Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was the year I was born, and Jaws as well. The One That Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
So Jim was
was
born in
actually not bad.
75.
could be worse. My year is Cleopatra, and it's a mad world.
St. Patrick.
Oh, that was good.
Oh,
Well,
Look at
since,
Octave.
Since Todd took Cool Hand Luke, I guess I'm gonna have to take Clam Bank with Elvis.
oh my God.
Hey,
so
you got
come on.
the heat of the night.
The beach,
Yeah.
was born, the beach was born in '63.
Look
I
at
don't know
Blue.
why.
Jim.
I pictured the beach as like a young, like an 18-year-old jackass.
He needs to come on the
Bold
show so
to
we
be.
can put
Yeah.
put an age to that to the
Yeah.
name over there.
You know what? The best part about that is like not knowing how old somebody is because the beach is freaking funny. So I don't know why I assumed it shouldn't have been 18. 30. I'll go with 30 because 18-year-olds are stupid. No offense.
36 63
63
bitches.
bitches.
Yeah, but what about me?
Hard ass. Yeah, that's about
Well,
right.
wait. All right. So wait, Eddie, what?
Eddie?
What about me? Yeah, all my movies are in black and white. Abbott and Costello. Humphrey Bogart.
He's pulling out.
Across the
He's pulling out.
waterfront.
He's pulling out Laurel and Hardy. He's like, well, Laurel and Hardy came out the year I was born.
They pass out the scripts on scrolls.
Jesus Christ! The
Across the
biggest,
waterfront.
the biggest
Hey,
grossing movie from my year was Ghostbusters.
Andrew, what year were you?
84.
84.
And Penn, what year are you?
I'm 95.
Oh, baby.
Oh, that's my kid. That's my
Oh.
daughter's.
That's my daughter's age too.
I
Oh,
forgot,
Yeah, I got kids.
I forgot Police Academy as well.
Oh, that was a
my
great
God.
movie.
Right.
That
Police
was
Academy. Michael Winslow, one of the best ventriloquist
Yeah.
voice guys ever.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button. So let's
I love
see.
Police Academy.
Ring, ring.
Oh, you sound exactly like him.
Yeah, I know I did. Exactly. You close your eyes, you could actually picture him.
Oh
All
my
right, so
God, you're not 12 years old.
so
Troopers
I,
the newest case of Benjamin Button. That was 2008. Troopers 12, apparently.
hey, no, he actually he said we should watch that one time. We should put that as one of the movies. Yeah, he sent that to me, which actually is on my list. The case of Benjamin Button is on my list.
Let's get Screaming Wizard on here. I think he's 12. That'll work perfect.
Get my video shut down. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to start with Roger. We're going to roll out of here. So, hey, Roger, anything you want to say before we roll out?
Thanks a lot. Great shows this week. Looking forward to next week. And hopefully we'll have a president by then.
Oh, yeah.
Don't count on it.
Bring on
Okay. Professor Penn.
Oh yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the show. Great picks for this week, and can't wait for next week. Look forward to it. And thanks for inviting me on your platform, Butcher. And nice seeing everybody on the panel. Everybody take care, stay safe. Until next time, peace out.
Peace out.
Thank you. Blue.
Yeah, hey. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.
Awesome. Andrew.
Goodbye.
Eddie.
Super great show. Like I said, it was more controversial than I thought, but we had a good speech on it. Good.
Yeah.
I wish everybody well, and I know it's the virus is getting bad in the States,
Here
so
too.
just please keep safe.
Here too. We're screwing shit up too. I don't know how Quebec's doing now, but Ontario ain't doing so.
No, it's not too
No.
bad in Quebec. Not too bad in Quebec.
All right. Sharon.
I'd like to thank everybody for inviting me on the panel. Great show once again. Look forward to next week's show, and happy Veterans Day to all you veterans today.
Thank you.
And see you next week.
Okay, sorry, and I'm going to interrupt Alban. And happy Remembrance Day here in Canada, which is
Yeah,
pretty much
I was going to say that.
And yeah. And yeah.
And in
Remembrance Day in the UK as well.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I've
Well,
had
we're a Commonwealth, eh?
I've had my poppy on the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. That's what you guys do, poppies. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
My puppies.
Now I remember.
Okay.
I thought you smoked poppy.
No.
No, that's
Opium.
heroin.
That's something else.
Is
Okay.
heroin
All right.
Heroin.
Uh,
Opium is
Poppies.
What's poppy then? Is
Opium comes from poppies.
right?
Okay.
Okay, opium.
Heroin isn't
Okay.
for poppies.
Happy Remembrance Day, everyone.
Sorry.
Let's just talk about smoking pot.
Well,
All right.
here,
Sorry.
up here they have bagels with poppy seeds on them.
All right,
Hey,
everyone.
Alvin.
Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Glad everyone liked the movies. Can't wait to pick for next week. Watch this week's movies. You know me. I'll have them done by Friday.
Who's picking next week?
It'll be me and Cam if Cam comes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And
And
Ben's up to 3, so he's almost there again.
okay, good. All right, guys. Have a good weekend or week.
All right. Well, thank you guys for everyone. Thanks
Yeah,
for everyone
happy
joining.
Great Time, but happy weekend, everybody from the retired guy on a Wednesday.
I'm sorry. You know.
Yeah, not much hate over there. All right, so
Well, you know what you guys could do if you want. If you have movies that you want to watch, but you don't want to watch them, I'll watch them for you and tell you how they are. How does that sound?
send you a treat, like a cheat sheet.
Watch Scarface for me, would you?
I already watched it. I'm talking about stuff I haven't seen that I'd watch for you that you don't have the time to watch.
I'll be letting you know.
Like Scarface and Godfather.
Yeah.
I'll watch them tonight just because, just so I know I'll irritate you more about not watching them.
I think who's more irritated? The fact that I haven't watched it, me or you?
Me, of course.
Yeah, we're going to make it a fake. All right, so let's go. We're going to try to get here 2 hours. So thanks for everyone watching. Happy Remembrance Day or Happy Veterans Day. It's really, we want to thank people that are in the armed services of all the branches in the different parts of the world, because our panel is worldwide. So it's not just the U.S. We got people on this panel all over the world. So thanks to everyone that is willing to give their time and their life and putting their life on the line for their country and their country's ideals. So thanks to that. Both movies we had this week, Hate You Give and 20 Feet from Stardom. If you have not watched either one of those movies, please go watch those movies. Both great movies. They're definitely worth watching. For next week, what is it? Fatality? Frailty. All right, so Frailty, or I thought it was Fatality. I wrote Fatality. Fatality. And then Cool Hand Luke. And so we got
in my track list, the pop track list. You guys have it on.
And I will add that link on Blues track list. I will add that to the. And also this Friday, so watch Streaming Matters this Friday. We will have Franco from Retro X. He's going to come on the show, and he's going to come on and talk about the additions or the updates to Retro X.
Make and the things that are.
No, I knew she wasn't taking off a whole lot there, so we were all right.
Oh yeah, no, not bro.
So Retro X, he's had a bunch of updates. He's going to come on the show, talk about that. He hasn't been on the show in about a year, and then he's going to also talk about a couple other projects he's got going on, and maybe we'll have somebody with some builds. And again, worldwide, because he's from Peru. He's out of Peru, if I'm not mistaken. So. It's great having friends all over the world. And yes, a very good dude. So if you're a retro gamer, definitely want to check out Friday's show for Retro X. And he's going to talk about that as well as music. He's got some music apps that he's talking about, projects. Good. So check it out. So we'll see you on the next one. And you know what? Thanks for watching. Play or pass, because we're not sure.